The dogs are barking. Of course, the minute I say it, they stop. They're just down outside here. They're just nuts. They're just so funny. Hi, everybody. It is October 7th, Thursday. I just got back. I had to take Marcello in to get this little thing checked on his leg, and it's healing. So I'm grateful for that. He's still on some antibiotics. Keep that up for another week. I had a great time yesterday with the live stream. I always enjoy that so much. It's become such a wonderful community. And I just, it's one of the highlights of positives that came out of this terrible COVID period was having this come together, and this amazing group of people form this community and friendships that I think are going to be very long enduring. So I'm thrilled about that. I was thinking about some music for today, and I was looking at stuff, and I suddenly went, I've never really talked a lot about The Section, our band that I was in with Russ Kunkel, Danny Korchmar, and Craig Durgee back in the very early 70s, kind of through the 70s, and doing James Taylor and Jackson Brown's albums and a multitude of others, but being the opening act for James and for Jackson, and going on the road with Mahavishnu Orchestra. I mean, we were a kind of a rock fusion group of that era where there was a lot of jazz fusion going on, but we were far more of a rock fusion oriented band. And we did 3 albums. We did 2 for Warner Brothers and then 1 for Capitol. The second album we did for Warner's was called Forward Motion, and I thought I would just feature a couple of tunes on that. And I went back and dug up, and here's the album cover here. Now, the funny thing about this was just they kind of wanted us to get this done quickly. Now, notice it's a promotional copy only on here. But they wanted us to do this album kind of, get it out there. And we didn't really have any pictures of the band. So when it came to the format of the album, we ended up with this picture. And then in order to fill it up, they just stripped out this lighting stuff here, and they just doubled it up to make the thing a big square instead of a rectangle. They didn't even go in and airbrush it and blend it so that it would look right. And it's funny because this album, being a promotional copy, and if you can see that, it's a promotional copy only. And it's got there's me, there's Craig, there's Russ, and there's Cooch. This album, we did this in 1973, between April and May of 73, and we cut it at Clover Recording Studios with Robert A. Pear co-producing and engineering the album, with Bob Bernstein being the assistant. The great Bernie Grunman mastered it, and there's a couple of credits here on Smilin' Ed. The percussion on it was by Lee and Sergio Pastora, twin brothers from Nicaragua, who played percussion, and they did one of James Taylor's tours too. And I think that's about it on this one. Let's see. I guess that's it for that. But I'm just going to play songs. So here is Forward Motion by The Section. So I'm going to play a couple of tunes here for you on this rascal. Let me see what we got here. This one is called Burning Bush, and has nothing to do with the Bush administration or anything like that. Predates that quite a bit. And the whole first section of this was me stacking basses using volume and effects and everything. So here we go. This is Burning Bush by The Section. Just an old dude listening here. I used my Echoplex a lot on this. Using my fingernails on that. We had so much fun in this band. I always love the fact that everybody would equate us with James and Jackson and go, these guys, they're like the mellow mafia, they would call us and all this. And when you hear this stuff, this is like far from mellow. It was all instrumental on everything we did. And on this, I used this album, this predated Frankenstein. So this was my Peace Love carved up 62 jazz bass is what I used on here. So here's a song called Bullet Train. This we were inspired after our first trip to Japan together. So this is where Bullet Train came from. So here we go. Oh, great.
Creators have made over $2 billion from their patrons on Patreon. It is now possible to be an independent, financially viable creative business on the web and to be killing it.
Sorry about this. I'm going to start it over again. This is ridiculous. Russ is such a badass shuffle drummer. Go, Craig. Yeah, mellow. Mellow. That's a real mellow bunch of guys, the Mellow Mafia. I get such a kick out of that. Yeah, and I have to credit Robert A. Pear. We did so many projects together, from Neil Sedaka to Howdy Moon with Valerie Carter. I mean, so many projects, and he's just one of the most wonderful engineers. He really got sounds, and everything on here is practically like probably one or two takes at most. I mean, we came in and we rehearsed a lot, we played a lot, so we came in and we were really ready to go. I think the only thing lacking was the album cover for us. But here's a song called Smilin' Ed, and this song was named after Craig Durgee's dog, Smilin' Ed. That's the beauty of an instrumental band, so you can kind of just call things whatever you want. I mean, when I look back to right after this was when I went back and did Spectrum with Billy Cobham. And you listen, you're checking all these album song titles out, and you're going, man, you can do anything you want when it's just an instrumental, no hooks in there to worry about. So here's Smilin' Ed. Space. Love it. Lee and Sergio on percussion. And Russ. Now the fidelity of the thing is actually better because this is all on YouTube, and somebody recorded this off of this album, so you're not getting like first generation real clarity on it. It's just hard to find. The thing that always blew my mind is even to this day, when I go back to Japan, like Tower Records, there's a section in there with the section on it, and they have all of our albums, all the 3 albums on CD over there, which is pretty amazing because they're almost impossible to find unless you find something in a secondhand bin in a thrift shop or something like that. I mean, they were long out of print. But the Japanese are such a remarkable they're an audience that really stays with artists. It's a joy to work in Japan, and the people you meet there have been like fans and stuff for decades, and they're really adamant about it, and it's so appreciated. That's been one of the hardest things. You're supposed to have had at least 2 trips to Japan during the course of the pandemic, and needless to say, they didn't happen. So I'm really hopeful we'll get back there before too long. And it was really fun a couple of years back, about 3 years ago. The section was awarded like a Lifetime Achievement Award from the NAMM Tech Awards, the annual NAMM Tech. We're in the Hall of Fame with it, and it was great to get together. And the fun part for me is that, I'm still in a band right now with Russ and Cooch. The 3 of us are still together. Craig still is a great keyboard player and still working. It's just when the immediate family came together, it became a guitar-oriented band without keyboards. And because people have asked me, how come Craig's not there? I mean, Craig is still an amazing musician. He's been doing a tremendous amount of writing and home recording with his wife Judy Henske, who was one of the great pioneers in the folk era. Yeah, she's just a wonderful artist too. So Craig's still at it, but the immediate family just was a different direction for us, and we chose that. But I loved playing with Craig over all those years, and when he came into James Taylor's band, he was like the perfect fit after Carole King moved on after Tapestry and could, no longer have kind of a side person in the band who had the biggest record in the world at that point. And that's when I found Craig doing a Tom Jans and Mimi Farina album at A&M and suggested him for it. And he came in, and next thing you know, we ended up with the section. So that's it. I'll play one more song, then I'm going to get running here. This is called Forward Motion, which was the title track of this album. So here we go. I have my Maestro phase shifter going with this bass harmonics. absolutely love a real Fender Rhodes piano. And Mini Moog.
If you're over the age of
great.
35, this is how much earwax is trapped in your ears right now.
Wow.
For some, it's
So
old age.
sorry.
But for
Unreal. Yeah, Craig. Cooch. the section, the Mellow Mafia. I mean, this is the time, almost exactly the same time where we were doing Doctor My Eyes and all this, the stuff with James and Jackson and Carole King and Ronstadt and everything. So it was a way for us to do things in our own direction, things that we wanted to be doing at that point, besides the joy of working on all these other people's projects. So, so that's that. I just thought I'm suddenly was realizing I think I've only done like one other song from this album, and that was my bass solo, which I've only done like, I could probably count all the bass solos I've actually played in my whole career on one hand. And there's one on this album called Get Down, Pilt Down. And I did that because Piltdown Pig was a nemesis of Wonder Warthog, and I was deep into all of that San Francisco poster art and all the stuff that was coming out of that period with Crumb and Mouse Studios and all that. So I was a product of my environment. So I'm going to get running now. We have a band Zoom at noon and some other stuff, and then I have a couple of things tomorrow, and then we're doing a band interview tomorrow afternoon. Should be a lot of fun. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. So have a wonderful day. I'm gonna give my daily shout out to all of you people working so hard daily to save people's lives in every sense of our society. There is an answer to all this if you just take advantage of it. You can make yourself and your family and your friends safe, but it's your call at this point. And that's it. Just take advantage of what's out there. I am going to run now, and I will see what the pups are up to, and then I'm going to get going here and take care of a whole bunch of other stuff, and I hope you have a great day. And again, thank you, everybody, for the wonderful Clubhouse live stream yesterday. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. So take care. Bye-bye.